Hi, today I'm going to be playing through Peloponnes, designed by Bernd Eisenstein and published by Iron Games, and then I'm going to be pairing that with Field 41 Pale Ale, brewed by, what is that, Bale Breaker Brewing Company. Should be fun, fairly light resource management Euro, and as I said, Pale Ale. Let's get us to the table, get this in the glass, and have some fun. Alright, so here you can see Peloponnes set up for a one-player game. What you do in this game is you're basically going to get 5 of these city tiles flipped out. And what they will do is they'll have different effects on them, so let's just show a couple for example. So the top 5, like this one, what you can do is you can purchase it for the bottom amount down here. And then if it has a building cost, it'll be up here in the left-hand corner. This is how many victory points it's worth at the end of the game, and this is things that you will gain for purchasing this building or this tile. So there are 7 phases to each round. First, you'll reveal 5 tiles that will be up for auction. Normally in a multiplayer game, what you do is for the number of players, so like let's say we were playing a 2-player game, you would flip out, those 2 would be available, and then these 3 would be available, but their cost would be increased by $3. But in a solo game, basically all you do is you just flip these out and you can pick between all 5 of them. In a solo game, you're just going for high score. In a multiplayer game, your city will determine who goes first, like the city level. Like I randomly got Arcadia, so I would go 3rd in turn order for picking one of those tiles in the first round. Then after that, every subsequent round, the player that bid the most would then be first to pick in the next round. And as you notice, there are 7 other, or a total of 7 city-states that you could be in the base game. There are some expansions. I believe there was the most recent expansion, which is called Peloponnes Box. It included all of the expansions to this date. I'm not playing with any of the expansions in this. I just wanted to do the vanilla base game just to, because it's been a while since I played it. Anyway, yes. So then you reveal tiles, then you start bidding. You adjust player turn order, which again, whoever bid the highest would go first, and then whoever bid next highest would be second. If it's a tie, I believe those people flip. That might be, I might be wrong on that. Either that or it might stay the same order as it was the previous round. Then you add tiles to your civilization that you just bought. You increase your population, which again was the top right corner, and then you collect your income. Income is, if you notice on these tiles, there's always this box down in the right-hand corner. Well, not always, but in some of them, you'll have a box down in the right-hand corner. So like this one, I would get a food every round during income. And then you just adjust that on these tracks here on your player board. This one will gain you wood, so every time you get wood, you just bump that up. This one get you stone. This one is how you track your stone. This tracks your food. This tracks the number of civilians you have in your population. And then as you gain civilians, if you look down on the bottom of each of these columns, that's the amount of money that you will generate in taxes that you can use to purchase more tiles in the subsequent round. Then what you do, and this is what you're going up against the whole game, you reveal 2 of these disaster chits. Disaster chits that then go on to these tiles up here. Once you get the 3rd chit for that disaster, it's going to resolve the bottom. So let's go over all 5 of the disasters that you can have. Plague, if you get the 3rd plague chit on there, you will lose 1/3 of your population. Tempest, if Tempest happens, for every one of these production buildings, so you have 2 different types of tiles that you can get. You have these ones that kind of have a pictured background. Those are production buildings, or production tiles. And then the ones like this that are just kind of gray stone looking things are buildings that you can build. So for this one, for every production building that you have to pay a food and $1. This one, when you do the drought, you're going to lose 1/3 of the food that you've produced. Earthquake, you will lose a stone and a wood for every building that you've built, the gray-backed ones. And then decline. So the way decline works is you will lose 10 upgraded goods, specialty goods, which are these down here. The only way you can get these, luxury goods is what they're called. The only way you can get a luxury good is, let's say you've produced a total of 10 wood and you haven't spent any of it. Then the next time you produce in the following round, any production that you would have done in wood would then be in luxury goods. So like, let's say I produced 2 wood, I would have bumped that up 2 spaces. Luxury goods can be used as wilds for stone, wood, and food if you don't have enough to pay the cost that you need to pay at any point. And it's a 2-for-1, so it'll cost you 2 luxury goods for like 1 food. So that's that. At the end of the game, what you're trying to do is you have 2 different ways of scoring. One, you will score points for each building or each tile that you've added to your city-state, which again is up in the top corner. So you add up all of those, and then also for every $3 that you have left at the end of the game is worth a point. So those together, or your population, so let's say you ended up with 12 population at the end of the game, you just multiply that by 3. So that would be 36. And let's say I had 34 in buildings and money at the end of the game. Your lowest of those 2, either population or buildings and money, will be your score. So you kind of have to balance between the 2. You can't just focus on getting a bunch of population and then that's your high score. So it's always the lower of the 2, which is a cool scoring mechanism. All right. Well, since I already put those out as an example, we'll use that as the reveal tiles. So now bidding, I don't have to bid. I basically just purchase any one of those in a solo game. I tend to like to get some sort of production going. Oh, set that back to 0. Oh yeah, and to start the game with Arcadia, I will start the game with $8 and 2 people. So I have 2 population and I have $8 over here. And then every round, I'm going to produce 1 extra population. Apparently, they're pretty horny in Arcadia. So again, back to what I was saying. I like to get production going to start off a game. So I think I'm going to do this one because it'll produce 2 goods. So that'll cost me $4 to take that tile. And I add that to my civilization. I don't have a cost up here. I paid the $4. I'm going to get $2 back. And my population goes up 1. So now all of these are out of the game. So I increase my population. Now I'm on to income. I produce 1 wood, 1 stone, and 1 population. I didn't produce any food, and for my population, I have a total of 4, which is in this column, so that's going to get me $2. All right, that was the income phase. So now we're on to revealing disaster chits. So what I do is I take a disaster chit out of here at random. So that's going to be 1 to the earthquake, and a second one, which is 1 to the Tempest. Now we're on to round 2. That was that simple. As you can see, pretty streamlined game. It's all just about getting these tiles, adding them to your city-state, and managing your resources. And it's good to point out that there are 3 rounds of the A buildings, 3 rounds of the B tiles, and 2 rounds of the C tiles in the base game. In the expansions, you can add an extra round, which are D tiles, which are just kind of a way to really boost your score at the end. But it also is an additional round of having to feed your people. You don't have to feed them at all during the A phase of the game. You have to feed them once during B, once during C, and then also at the end of the game, after you've gone through all 7 phases, then you have to do an additional phase of feeding all of your population. And population is just 1-to-1 on food. All right, back to picking out which tile I would like. I notice I don't have any food production. Another thing to point out, when picking these tiles, on any production building, the following tile has to match one of the 2 production types of the previous tile. So like my next production building either has to produce wood or produce stone. So like I cannot take this tile, which produces 3 food, because I don't produce food on that tile. I think I want to get some food production from one of those buildings. So I can either spend $3 and get 2 points, or $2 and get 1 point. I think I'm going to spend $3 and get that. So that's going to raise my population by 2. And now these are out of the game. And now to collect income, I'm going to get 3 wood, 1 stone, 1 food, and 1 population. And I'm going to get $3. That was income. Now on to revealing disaster chits. Reach in here. First one is plague. Second one is plague. So now, next round, if plague goes off, I would lose 1/3 of my population, which with Arcadia, since I produce a population every round, that's not too terrible. Because it's just less people I would have to feed. So round 3, revealing some disaster chits, or revealing tiles. So here's something you haven't really seen yet. At the bottom here, Barracks, what it will do for you is it allows you to then ignore that adjacency rule on your production buildings. So that's just a little special ability by building the barracks. And it would also kill 2 of your population in doing so. Let's see. That wouldn't be bad, but I'm still worried about the amount of food that I'm producing. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do this one, which again will cost me $3. It's going to increase my population 2. And now on to income. I'm getting 1, 2, 4 wood, so that puts me up to 8. 1 stone, and then 3 food, so I'm up to 4 food now, and another population, and then $4 in taxes, and now revealing disaster chits. First one is drought. Second one is drought again. So we can clear those off the board. And now we're on to the 4th round. So now the B buildings will come out. There's one. Okay, so picking tiles here. I'd really like to get this one, but I need 5 stone and I only have 3. Like you can, well, what do I produce 1? Yep. You can purchase a tile and take it, but you run a risk in doing so. Like if you don't have all of the goods in order to build it, what you can do is you can basically postpone it. You'll put it into your city state, pay the cost, you'll get the population immediately, and then you take one of your extra dollars, place it on that building. So there's a dollar that you can't use for purchasing in the following round. It just shows that you basically haven't paid the cost of the goods to build it. And you have to pay those costs before the next feeding round. And feeding rounds are determined by this little symbol down in the middle of one of these building tiles that just shows people equals food. And that just, once that flips out, then you pause real quick, feed your people one for one based off your population, and then you just continue playing the game. But if that comes up and you don't have enough goods to pay for that building, then you just lose that building. So you lose the points. You basically wasted the money. Granted, you might have gotten some benefits out of it, but it's really going to hurt your score. And since I'm only producing 1, well, I guess it does allow me to pick a good, so I could produce a stone this round. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I think I am going to do that. I'm going to risk it. So that'll cost me $4. $4. Now, Temple of Apollo is mine. And again, I place one of my dollars on there. I go up 2 in population. And now my income. I'm producing 4 wood. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I've got some luxury goods. 1 stone, 3 food, so I'm up to 7. Another person, $5. And now, with this one, it's any 1 good that it'll produce. So since I need that stone, I'm going to take stone. All right, so these are out. And we're on to revealing disaster chits. So, decline. And this is just a respite from any of the disasters. So, no second disaster chit this round. So now, we're on to round 5. Draw 5 more of these. Still not feeding people. Okay, so I need to make sure that I have 5 stone left. Oh, I'd really like to score some points. Yeah. I'm not going to, though. I'm just going to do this production building, which will cost me $4. Add that. That's going to increase my population to. I'm up to 15 population. Wow. Those are out. And now, production. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wood. So that's just 5 in luxury goods. 1 stone. And then 4, 5 food. So 12. 1 person. Now, good of my choice. Let's go with a food, I guess. Now I get $5. $5 and 2 luxury goods. All right, revealing disaster chit. So it's another decline and another earthquake. Round 6. Now, if you see here, that is the symbol for a feeding round. So I have 16 population, and I have 13 food. So I'm going to put me back to 0, and now I'm going to have to spend the rest in food to feed those people. Or I can just knock this back down to 13. But I'm producing so much wood that I'm going to get that right back. Yeah, let's take this down 1, 2. So I fed 14 people. And since it's a production round, I also have to complete this building, which will cost me the 5 stone. I do get that $1 back. And I am good on the Temple of Apollo. So for this round, which tile do I want to add? Be nice to get more either stone production or food production, because I might in the very next round have to feed people again. So I think my thoughts here are either this quarry or this production building, because I cannot build that because I don't have stone produced in this building. So that is out. Okay, so this tile, what this means is when you're doing bidding in a standard game, when you're playing with multiple players, you can bid 4 for a building, which is the same, like if somebody else bid 4, you wouldn't have to go to 5. You could just bid 4 because all of your bids get plus half. So it just makes it a little bit more powerful when you're bidding. So that's great, but again, it's going to cost 4 stone, and I'm only producing 1. Plus, if I want to use this, I can produce 2, and I only have 1, so that would put me up to 3. And then if the feed your people round comes up first in the C phase, then I'll basically lose that building immediately. So I think that one's out. The granary, it's worth 5 points, which is nice, but it doesn't produce anything, and I really need to go for production. I'm worried about my food because I have so many people. I'm at 0 food and I only produce 5. So I think, unfortunately, I'm going to have to take this production building, which will cost me $5. Increase my population 1. It only scores me 2 points, though. I'm sitting low on points. I only have 14 in buildings right now, or in tiles. So all these are out. And now we're on to production. I have 5 in wood, so that's going to bring my luxury goods up to 10, producing 1 stone, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 food. Now do I want a stone or a food? Let's go food for that. And now I'm going to get $5. That is 5 and 2 more luxury goods. 1, 2. Oh yeah, and I produce another person. Revealing the disaster chit. Another Tempest. And drought. I am protected from drought. So drought is done. All right, we're on to round 7. And as you can see, this game is pretty quick. We only have 2 rounds left. I don't think I care about this or this, because they're the lowest scoring ones, and the Tempest or the drought has already happened. And I can't produce that, or I can't build that, because this tile produces food and this produces wood, so there's no crossover there. So I think it's down to these 3. This one will get me some production, which would be great. Put this, while I like the points, I don't have that much stone, so I think that one's out. So I think it's down to these two. The production would be good, but this one will make it so I don't lose all that food. I have all of these production buildings. That'd be $5 and 5 food that I would lose. So I think this has to be the one I go for. Yep, taking that one. It's going to cost me $5. $5 out. Now I don't have enough stone, so I'm going to throw another $1 on there. These are gone. And that increased my population by 1. And now income. I'm still producing 5 wood, so that's going to take me up to 17 goods. And now I have 3, 5, 7, 8 food. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm at 21 goods. And now 1, 2 stone. What do I want that last one to be? I'll make it another stone. All right, so revealing disaster chits. Oh yeah, and my income is $5 more. Almost forgot about that. Oh yeah, and another person. And 4 luxury goods, which puts me up to 25. So now, disaster chits. So that is decline, which is going to cost me 10 luxury goods. So I go from 25 down to 15. Decline is done. And earthquake. So that is just 2. So that's 2 stone and 2 wood. So now I know in the last round I'm going to have plague and a temple, or a tempest. I'm good on tempest, so now I know I'm going to lose 1/3 of my people at the end of the game. So, final round. I have to feed people because of that. So that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 people fed. So at this point, I have 18 times 3. That's 54 points in population. But I only have 10, 14, 18, 19, plus my money, which is 3, 19, 20, 21, 22 points in buildings and money. This has the most points, but you need 8 stone. Let's see, I've got 3. I could produce 3, so that's 6. That wouldn't be enough to do that. So that one's out. Let's see, 6 points on that. Would be able to do that one. And it also adds food production, but it costs $7. All right, I'm just going to take this one, which will cost $7. It's 3. There is $7. Place one of those on there. Increases my population 2. And now income. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stone. 1, 2. And then food. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I make that 10. These are all out. And now I get $5. $5. And now 6 luxury goods. So now we know Tempest. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, but I am blocked on Tempest, so I'm good on that. And then Plague, I lose a third of my population. So that is, so you lose a third of your population rounded up. So I'm at 20, which means I will lose 7, which brings me down to 13 population. Yeah. All right, at the end of the game, you now have to feed your population last time, so I can feed 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, so I have 13, so that's 39 points in population. So now let's see what I have in buildings. I have 16, 25, 26, 27. So 27 points is my final score. So that was Peloponnes. Let's go back up top and we'll talk about it. All right, so Peloponnes. As you can see, pretty straightforward, fairly easy, quick playing resource management game. I think it's great. I think it's underrated. I don't think it gets enough attention. It's an older game. I think it, what was it, 2014, I think? 2011? Somewhere in there. It's 3 to 6 years old, something give or take. Great game. It's really simple. Plays really quick. Like, I can play a solo game of it in like 20 minutes. But it's like got some like a little bit of substance there. Like, you know, all you're doing is simply just picking a tile. It is going to adjust your income. It might cost you some things. It might increase your population, and then you're just going to produce goods based off of what you've added to your city-state, and you're just doing that for, what was it, 8 rounds. 8 rounds. If you add in the expansion, it's 9 rounds. You're just doing that, feeding people. I mean, it's straightforward, like Euro mechanisms, kind of the standard trope, you know, resource production, feed your people. But I like how streamlined it is, how quick, how easy. It plays really fast. It's fun. It's a winner in my book. And the Field 41 Pale Ale, great beer. It's hoppier than most pale ales, so that makes it kind of like in between like a pale ale and an IPA. Really good. I really like it. What was it? Bale Breaker? I think that's the company's name. Yeah, Bale Breaker Brewing Company. Good job, guys. This is I tend to like IPAs, so that, and I also like pale ales, but like something right in between. Like a lot of IPAs, after a while, you only have like 1, maybe 2. But this one, it's like got the bite of an IPA, but not quite. But you can drink it like a pale ale. Really good. Anyway, pick up Peloponnes. It's a great game. And like I said, it's not getting enough love. Yeah. Bernd, you did a good job, my friend. That's it this week, guys. I believe here coming up, I've got a couple of Kickstarters that are going to be coming in. I've got Clans of Caledonia backed. I should be receiving that soon. As soon as I get that learned and played, I'll probably do a video of that. I've also got Gloomhaven coming, which I'm pretty excited about. I might actually do, in addition to my weekly like one playthrough, I might do a campaign playthrough. I'm not sure. Again, I don't know if I'm going to have time to do 2 videos a week. I hope I can. Yeah. Again, Peloponnes, pick it up. Iron Games, Bernd Eisenstein. It's a great game. And then also Bale Breaker, Field 41 Pale Ale. Check that out too. See you guys next time. Have a good night.